asking you for knowledge to understand our children, oh God.
Yes, my
We
Lord.
pray, oh Father, that after this meeting, we will have more ability to know how to deal with our children. Father,
Yes,
I thank you for the men of God that will teach us, the men of God that will open our mind to understand.
Lord.
Father, bless him. Let us speak with
Yes, Father.
understanding. Let us speak, oh God, Father, in a special way. So when
Yes,
we
my
finish
Lord.
here, we know how to stand and walk. Father,
Yes,
we
my
thank
Father.
you in
Thank
Jesus.
you, Lord.
Amen.
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 Amen. We thank God for making this day possible, and it's a
Amen.
privilege to be here. I'll share the first slide, and then we kickstart. We are looking at the gifts that we have in children. And God has designed so beautifully that His creation must continue through the process of procreation. And as we give birth, we are given the responsibility to care and nurture for these children God has entrusted into our care. And one of the most important verses in the Bible that reminds us of that duty is in Proverbs 22, verse 6. That we should train the child the way he should go, so that when he grows, he will not depart from it. It's very striking that this verse is very loaded. It is very loaded. It comes with specific things we need to pay attention to that will help us to know what is God expecting of us. It says we should train up the child the way he should go. It didn't say a child, but a definite article there. It means every child has a way he or she must be trained in order to fulfill their purpose potentials on this earth. And the training includes parental training in terms of character molding, where education comes in, the role of education comes in to really prepare us to understand the dynamics. Please, can you see what is on the screen?
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
So the quote is, the greatest task of parenting is to nurture a child's outward behavior to sharpen their innate potentials wiring. And that is what Proverbs 22, verse 6 talks about. That we are already a complete package. We are not here to add anything to what God has already wired us with. We are only here to discover them. And as parents, we have the responsibility to help our children discover those potentials already in their nature. And then with His guidance, we are able to know how to nurture and mold the character behaviors of our children over time. So I'll go to the first topic on hand. That has to do with the power of nature.
Mami, Bible lume.
Yeah.
Bible lume. Basta ito store. Sorry, Pastor.
Okay. I'll move into the next slide where we want to talk about the nature wiring of the child. Please, is it on the screen?
Well, yeah, we can see. Yes.
Okay.
Would you mind to make it a bit bigger?
Bigger,
Zoom
okay.
it for us. Yeah.
Great. I'll do that soon.
Okay, good.
Please, is it better?
Well, somebody is using glasses, they can see. In my case, I can see very well.
Okay.
Okay,
So now,
anyway, we can still see child potential development. Though
Great.
it's small, but we can see.
Okay. Trying to see where.
Yes.
Okay, I'll magnify it.
It's small, yeah, it's small.
It's a little bit far.
It's too small, Pastor.
Okay, I'll magnify it soon. Okay. Is it better? Is it better now?
So,
Well, it's still the same, but we can go on.
okay, let's go on then. We will see how you will manage with time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when we talk about identifying or the power of the child's nature wiring, what we are saying is that every person, including us, came as a complete package on this earth. And God has already wired in us certain traits we are supposed to exhibit. And those traits are directly linked to how we must dispense purpose and attain destiny on this earth. It is directly linked to our fulfillment and productivity on this earth. Now, those nature wiring has its positive and negative traits. When we take the character of Moses, we could say that Moses is a very great leader, but he had the challenge of being hasty or the weakness of not being listening to advice. Now, this ability is not there for fun. It is directly along his wiring in order to propel him to fulfill his assignment on this earth. So every person comes with a positive and a negative traits. And those traits are wired within our abilities already. Now, what is that power in that nature wiring and why must we identify them? One of the ways we can identify those nature wiring of our children is to learn to observe their recurring behaviors. We must identify our children's recurring behaviors. For example, a child likes organizing things. The room can be scattered, but this child will come around, and the first thing he will notice is that, hey, the place is not well organized. And then start arranging the place, start putting things in order. In the course of arranging the things, he may break something. Now, when the child breaks that thing, our attention goes to the thing the child has broken, and not the fact that the child has the ability to organize the environment. So we don't have patience and quickly go into action in beating the child. Now, when that happens, the child will now become very careful going forward, whether what that instinct of ability to organize should be acted on, or in case I make a mistake, my parent will beat me, so I shouldn't act. So it is very important that we have patience in observing the recurring behaviors of our children. Some of the children, some of them, when you advise them, they will not take it. You tell them, sit here, the next minute, they are standing somewhere. Some of the children today talk a lot. From morning to evening, they can ask you questions that you have even not imagined. And you'll be wondering, you like talking too much. Why is it that you are always disturbing me? Now, this behavior is directly linked to their purpose potential. That takes us to the next play. Their recurring behaviors give us a clue to their purpose potentials. What God has already wired, that ability God has already wired within that child's ability to discover and pursue on this earth. So like the example I gave, the child who comes into a room or a setting and notices that there's disorder and start arranging the things, such child is naturally an organizer or a manager. That's the ability God, the purpose ability God has deposited in that child. But when we mistaken and we are not able to identify that that is a trait the child has, and because the child maybe keeps destroying things in the quest of trying to arrange the environment, and we start beating the child, when the time comes for the child to now exhibiting these purpose potentials, there will be a struggle within the child to now want to live his real potentials. Another one has to do with the child who likes talking and asking lots of questions. We can shut the hell out of that child. Hey, you like talking too much. You are disturbing me. Why not keep quiet? Go and do whatever you are doing. And then we insult them and do all those kind of things. Sometimes we do it unconsciously because of the stress that comes with it. And what happens is that when we make the child feel that it is bad to talk, and then we beat them, we shut them down, over time they become timid and they are not able to self-express their thoughts. But the interesting thing is that such children learn through questioning. They learn through observation and want to engage their mind to really want to find out the why of what they are seeing. But because as parents, sometimes we don't understand the dynamics that children go through, we only shut them up. And then when they quail in, within their teens and mostly after university, when they need to dispense the ability of being able to express, some of these children are natural leaders. The children that talk a lot, they are natural motivational speakers. They can be able to, they are natural marketing executives. And that is the potential God has wired them for. But when in the course of parenting, we don't identify these potentials and then we shut those behaviors down, when the time comes for them to really exhibit their potentials, they will discover that they have been shut down, and then there will be a struggle within them to now want to find their fit. And most often that's what happens is that identity conflict comes in. Because they have come to a point to want to ask themselves, this is what I think I am good at. But my parents and education system and society is telling me that this is what I am good at. And I'm not good at the thing I know I am good at. So it becomes a conflict within their ability to really want to discover who they really are. And most often when at that point, they don't get any coach or counselor to talk to, a pastor to confide in, then it leads to a lot of behaviors that become deviant along the way, or they isolate themselves from society. Now, when we discover the potentials of these children, it helps us discover their purpose path without sweating or having to struggle to identify what can my child do. Normally, we ask our children when they are young, what do you want to become? What profession do you want to pursue?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
the truth of the matter is that a child before the age of 4 years, when you ask him such a question, and he straightforward tells you the profession he wants to pursue, that is often 100%. Because the beauty is that at that time, they don't have hindsight of the influencing factors around us, whether this career is prestigious, this one is not prestigious, and all those things. So they just speak from within them. And that is the voice of God telling the parent or whoever is asking them, what do you want to become? And then straightforward, they say it. But when nurturing and mentoring doesn't guide along those potentials that the child exhibits or naturally is wired for, it now put them on a path of purpose, which set them on a path of frustration. And when we talk about purpose, we are talking about what you are being assigned on this earth to pursue, the type of work you are assigned within your abilities to dispense. That will bring you fulfillment, that will bring you productivity, that will bring you satisfaction, and then you are in control of even your spiritual life to be able to exhibit a good character and trait towards others. Now, if you're able to help our children discover their nature wiring that guides them to their purpose path, then the next thing is that we have done our work in guiding them on their path of assignment. When it comes to the issue of purpose assignment, the Holy Spirit comes in and guide our children to the point of leading them to destiny fulfillment.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what happens when, unfortunately, we are not able to identify the recurring behaviors of our children, and then we shut them up by only focusing on the isolated overt behaviors. What will happen is that we will not guide them on the path of the potentials they are naturally wired for. And that will set them on the wrong path of purpose pursuits. And it's going to frustrate their ability to understand why they are on this earth, what they are here to do, and what they must do to be able to fulfill their purpose and destiny on this earth. So that is the power of discovering the nature wiring of our children. And for the purpose of time and for this program, initially wanted to go into details to help our participants discover their potentials of our children. But because of time factor, I can arrange with any person who wants to go further after this session, and I'll help in that order. And I thank God for such information, because it took me 3 years of God telling me to leave the banking environment to now focus on what He wanted me to do. And then it started unfolding through a Bible verse, and they have to go on the field practically to collate information. And that helped me to come out with my second book on the secret to discovering purpose and career. And I believe as now we are a family, we can arrange other sessions to talk on those areas. Please, if you have a question on this, you can ask before I move to the next session. Hello.
No question?
Yes.
No, on my side, there's no question. I'm just discovering, I'm learning. So I'm giving you my utmost attention.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your presence and time.
Okay.
Great.
All right.
Can I say something?
Yes, please, come in.
Yes, thank you. I think that in the aspect of discovering and observation, most of time parents want to detect and command and lead without to observe what the child really wants. And that is wrong in the way you are expecting it or explaining it. It is a very wrong way of parents to decide actually what they want the child to become. Example, in my children, there is only one that want to be baking and a sewer. But all the time that she is telling me, I want to bake and I want to make clothes, I say, from where is that coming? Not here. Look how beautiful you are. I don't think that that is the way. But doing my studies of observation, I get to know that she has her own ability to discover what she is going in to do. And for now, I don't have any problem because she is feeling very free to do what she wants to do.
Beautiful.
But if a child wants to beat this and you are beating her, shouting to the child, because I want you to be a doctor, you will put the child in stress. because then he will not have his own will to walk into what he want to be. And then when he is 20 years, he will say, when you were 6 years, you wanted to become, and today you are 20, nothing like that. And that is the confusion, I think, in parents towards children in observation and desire what to do.
Beautiful. Beautiful. This summarizes what I said, that our ability to observe our children, their recurring behaviors, is very, very important in how we relate with them in the nurturing process. We don't need to impose our views and our careers and expectation of who they want to be. So it's a consultative approach of nurturing. When we observe their behaviors over time and identify the ones that we can classify as deviant, and the one we can notice that this is an error, so that we don't punish an error and then make the child seems like his good intention in trying to organize the environment is in the first place bad. Yes, that's why in the base of the pyramid is the recurring behavior. In the base of the pyramid is the recurring behavior, because that is where majority of the work is. And if you look at the base, if you take Maslow's theory of needs, the much work is at the physiological needs. So the same way, in nurturing the ability of the child, it must be in conformity with the child's nature wiring. And as we are able to guide, we realize that as they climb to the purpose potentials, the stress and challenges become narrower. And then as they move on to purpose, they find meaning and understanding. And then they get to assignments. They are ready to plateau to the highest level of their potentials on this earth. So thank you, Shammah, for your addition. And I'm really enjoying the session. Please, do you have any questions through lunch?
Any questions? Yeah, what I want to achieve, to put together is that every child have his own talents.
Beautiful.
Every child have his own talents. Me, I have one that is in the football. So the thing is that I observe from when he was small, 4 years, that when we go to play outside with him, he just take a ball and he began to move with the ball.
Beautiful.
You understand? So, but sometimes I just say, let me observe this, my son, to see what he have inside him. So, when I was going in the weekend with him outside, he just to continue to play football. He wanted to play football. And there I see that, hey, this child, he has the talent from football inside him. And nobody, because my other sons don't learn him to football, to play ball. So he self began to play the ball. So like I see is when you observe that a child has a talent inside him, it's just you have to leave that child to let the talent come out. You understand? And then you're going to see, hey, if he have that ability to play ball and he wants it, and you see that day by day, he just want to do that, then you are going to see that, hey, this child, he have one talent inside him that is football, you know? Then you are parents will go to we call it where they play football, then you're going to put him in the football, you know, because here in Netherlands, you can put them from 4 years. You can put them in football.
Wow.
So you're going, yes, you're going to put them in a football team. And then, you know, the teacher, we're going to see the trainer, we're going to see, you know, how he can play, if the talent for him is high or low. You understand? If he can play high or low. You understand? So then, like my son, when he was 6 years, I put him in a football team. When he go in the football team, they already look that he don't have to be in a low group. He have to be in a high group.
Wow.
You understand? So now, then when he was 7, then they put him in, because here is down the 8, you are going in the 1, in the 2, or in the 3. The 1 is the higher. So when he was 8, they put him in the 1 that is higher. So after that, they take him and put him to the ones that play under the 10-4. And now he is in the prof club from Asset. So they scout him and he is in the prof club. You see, but what I'm saying so because he have it inside him. He want to do that. You know, and when a child have it inside him, that is the purpose that he want to achieve. That is the purpose that he want to achieve. Then you will leave the child to do it. You understand? You as parents, I see that if I want that my child be a doctor, for example, and I see that, hey, that football, he like that so much, and he have it inside him. His spirit, everything is by that football. I'm not going to force him to say, yes, you have to be a doctor. You have to be a doctor. You understand? Because when he grow, then if
He will feel bad. He will
Sorry?
feel very bad. He will feel bad.
Yeah, he will feel bad. When he grow, he will feel bad because he will say, oh, I want to do football, but my parents, they don't let me to do it.
Yeah.
You understand? So every parents, like I see, have to observe and see good and find in them children what their talent is, what they want to do, what they most do. You understand? What they most like to do. Because in that one that they like to do, they are going to grow. They are going to have more, you know, joy inside, that thing, happiness to do it.
Beautiful.
You understand? We cannot force our children to do something that we want it.
Beautiful.
You understand? Because they are not going to force us to do what we want.
Yeah.
You understand what I
Clap
mean?
for that.
Yeah, it's true.
Great.
Because now children from now, they have knowledge. They are very, very, you know, intelligent.
Yeah.
They will observe us parents also what we are doing.
Beautiful.
You know, we cannot go and tell me, hey, you don't have to take that towel, because I put it there. You don't have to take that towel. Leave that towel. But they say, Mama, sometimes you take that towel from that side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand? So
we'll come to that during the next session. And this is a very important point you made. And I think what Africa is missing most is our ability to not guide our children along what they are naturally wired for. So most often we force them into professions, and this continues the cycle of poverty Africa finds itself. We find round pegs in square pegs in round holes. And that has been our challenge over the years. Apostle, thank you very much. Please, the Zoom will end in the next 5 minutes, but we can re-log in to take our next session.
Don't leave me.
No, we can re-log in. It's the timing. It's the timing. So 5 minutes time, it will go off. But please, let's log in immediately and then continue the next session. Yes. But until then.
All right. Okay. But then.
Apostle, please come in.
Yes, as I've asked, as I told you that I will be attending to another commitment due to the late starting of today's session. I want to thank you personally. First of all, I am very surprised of the coaching gifts the Lord has given you, and I'm very honored to meet Solange, to meet Shammah,
Thank you, Apostle.
with all other listeners. I will be very keen to participate on the next session in full. I will make sure that whether it starts late, but I won't have any other commitment after that. So as you know, I got your message this morning. I had already my day loaded.
Exactly.
So I'm happy, and the topic is very interesting. Next time I am a yes. So the first one is 23 years. He is at university doing biolab studies. Great. And the last born is 7 years. So my 7 years is a talkative boy.
Great.
His name is Shalom. Now everyone in the family calls him the advocate.
Okay. Beautiful.
So, all right. So he talk a lot. He asks very funny questions, and sometimes it will get you at a moment you didn't prepare yourself. Mm-hmm. And the mother was always very tired with his question. I have tried to tell the mother that please give him your time, give him your attention. So I am the most questioned person.
Great.
He asked me so many questions, tricky questions. Yeah. Sometimes road light, you will see people who are begging for money from some exchange for some food. Mm-hmm. Then when you carry on driving, he will ask you, why is that person standing there? Yeah. Why is he asking for alms? Yeah. What has happened? Yeah. Does he not have family? Mm. Where is his father? Yeah. Where is his mom? Does he not have uncle? Now, the whole driving Shammah becomes another issue. So, it's something I will share with you, my experience with my own kids. Great. The firstborn, who's 23 years, is a very calm person. Mm-hmm. He doesn't talk a lot. He's too much in his books. His young brother, who is 14, who's being prepared for aviation study. This is another very calm one. But the third boy is a funny guy, Christian. He makes everyone in this family to joke, to laugh. But he's a good in painting art.
Nice.
The whole room is full of arts, paper, glued on the wall. So it's a terrible thing. Yes. We will share this, and I believe you are a very good coach. So you are helping me to learn to be patient with some of them, but to also guide them without squeezing their destiny, without chopping on their, inspiration, because they are each and everyone special, gifted, destiny people.
Amen.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, really.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The short notice.
Thank you.
And coming over.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And God bless your endeavor in your next session.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Bless you, sir.
God bless you.
Thank you. Bless you, Solange. There by you say.
Have a nice day. Bye.